Pat on the head. I want people to say like, "Oh, Mrs. Falk, you're wonderful. Thank you." Okay. We're recording all this, so now I'm actually gonna.
What are you doing, Tristan?
Val, we're recording, but you already missed it. It was in October.
Really? Same. Oh.
Now I have to edit all this out.
I have Adobe from
Don't leave this and then put it on YouTube.
Oh, if you could only see my face. So, you have a Chapter 5 test tomorrow, and you want me to get this all recorded so you can watch it and study. So, a right triangle is placed in a convenient position on the first quadrant of a coordinate plane. What is the missing label for the vertex? So, we're talking about this point here that sits on the y-axis, so has an x value of 0. You could actually use any variable you wanted to there. What you would not want to do is use a variable you've already used. You wouldn't want to use u because you've already used it. And it doesn't even look like this length and this length would be the same. So in this case, you're picking from 4 choices. It's not going to be A or D because neither of those have an x value of 0. You've already used u, so the only one that makes sense to use of the 4 choices is 0, v. For number 2, what you're really asked to know here is that the point of concurrency for the perpendicular bisectors of a right triangle is going to be the midpoint of the hypotenuse. I don't want you to eyeball it because it might not be exact. -1, -1, and -1.5, -1.5 are going to be really close to each other on a grid. But because this is on a coordinate grid, you can tell that this vertice is at -4, 1. This vertice is at 2, -3. If I add the x values, -4 plus 2 is -2, divided by 2 is -1. And then 1 plus -3 is -2. Divided by 2 is -1. So the answer is A. Number trace. It's not drawn to scale. It's a little confusing because A to E is the bisector, but then they tell you that ED, this line here, sorry, C to E, is 36, and C to B is 15. So what looks to be longer is actually shorter. Because this is an angle bisector, and this point is equidistant from the sides, these are the same length. You're finding DE. So you have a right triangle, you want to use the Pythagorean Theorem. The legs have lengths of 15 and 36. So 15 squared plus 36 squared equals C squared. 15 squared is 225. 36 squared is 1,296 equals C squared. So you want the square root of these added together, which is 1,521 equals C. So when you put 1,521 into the calculator and then you press the radical button, you get 39. The radical button is the button that has this square root symbol. It is actually a radical button.
It's radical.
The medians of a triangle, when they meet, the point of concurrency is called the centroid. Just a little review. The incenter is the point of concurrency of what?
Angle bisectors.
Angle bisectors. The orthocenter is the point of concurrency of what?
The altitude.
Altitudes. And altitude is a fancy word for what? Height. But we use altitude. And the circumcenter is the point of concurrency for what? Perpendicular bisectors. We are on a roll. Number 5, I told you not to do. Number 6. Which sides would allow you to construct a triangle? Well, this is process of elimination. If 2 and 3 are your shortest sides, your third side has to be less than 5. 8 is not less than 5. For B, 1 and 4 are your shortest sides. 1 plus 4 is 5. So 9 is too large. C, your shortest sides are 2 and 2, which add up to 4. So 7 is too large. 6 plus 8, the largest size would be 14. 10 is less than 14, so that works. Now, let's just make sure it works on the lower extreme, meaning 10 minus 8, the smallest the third side could be would be 2, and 6 is greater than 2. If two sides of a triangle have lengths of 7 and 13, the third length has a side that is the greatest it could be, is less than 20, but it has to be greater than 6. So B, less than 20 and greater than 6. Which of these side lengths could be a triangle? So 4 and 15 are the smallest. That's less, that's 19. It can't be 20. 3 plus 15 are the two smallest. That makes 18. 20 is too large. 5 plus 11 is 16. But you need something less than 16. 16 is not less than 16, so it can't be C. Your answer is D. 5 plus 12 means the side has to be less than 17. And 16 is less than 17. Moving over here to number 9. You are told that AB is equal to AD. You should also realize here AE is equal to AE. This is Hinged Theorem. You have two triangles, two sets of congruent sides, but angle 1 is larger than angle 2. That means the side opposite angle 1, which is BE, is going to be greater than the side opposite angle 2, which is ED. So it's A. Number 10, the circumcenter of a triangle is equidistant from the 3 what? Vertices. Okay, it comes from the sides of the triangle. The circumcenter goes from is the point of concurrency of the perpendicular bisectors. Those come from the sides of the triangle. The angle bisectors of a triangle meet in the middle, are concurrent at a point called what? Incenter. And the incenter of a triangle is equidistant from the 3
You said
Oh, I said, sorry. I'm going to edit that out. Hold on, we need a pause.
Pause.
The incenter is equidistant from the sides of the triangle because the incenter is the segment that is the point of concurrency of the angle bisectors, which come from the angles, and it's equidistant from the sides. I'm going to pause here. So for number 13, this is a right triangle. I'm told that A is 9. So 0A is 0, 9. And B0 is 2, 0. I can use the distance formula, but I could also use Pythagorean Theorem, which I think is going to be a little bit easier. That means this has a side length of 9, and this has a side length of... So A squared plus B squared equals C squared. 9 squared is... plus 2 squared is... equals C squared. That means 85 equals C squared. The square root of 85 is C. In this case, that is simplest radical form. On your test, I will specify whether I want simplest radical form or approximate. If I wanted approximate, you would take, let me get a calculator here, 85 square root. So if I said to the nearest tenth, that's 9.2. Okay, if I said to the nearest hundredth, that's 9.22. For number 14, the perpendicular bisectors of a triangle all pass through the what point? Perpendicular bisectors, the point of concurrency is the circumcenter. On a side note, angle bisectors, the point of concurrency is the incenter. Medians, the point of concurrency is the centroid. And altitudes, which is a fancy word. Okay, altitudes meet in the orthocenter. Altitude is a fancy term for what word? Height. But we call it the altitude now in geometry, not the height. If the center of a triangle is also its circumcenter, it is an equilateral triangle. That is why on your constructions, I told you how to construct a scalene triangle, because I wanted your circumcenter and your incenter to be in different locations. Bless you. Bless you again. Number 16. Nobody today has asked for this. 5x and 35. This is an angle bisector. They're equidistant from the sides. So if 5x equals 35, x equals 7. For number 17, 5x, it says minus 12, equals 3x. Because you're measuring the distance from a point on the angle bisector to the side. That would give me 2x equals 12, x equals 6, correct? How many medians does a triangle have? 3. Once again, where do they meet? Centroid. We're geniuses. Number 19. The medians of a triangle are always into the interior of a triangle. That's true. Angle bisectors and perpendicular bisectors and altitudes can be outside the triangle. The medians are always inside the triangle. The altitudes of a triangle are concurrent. What is the name of their common point? It is an orthocenter. And again, even though we've done it already, let's do it again. For number 21, 5x plus 4 is a mid-segment. And 6x plus 4 is its parallel side length. That means this is 1/2 of this. Okay? So you could say 5/2 x plus 4 equals 3x plus 2. But what I would do to get rid of that fraction is I would multiply this by 2, because 2 of these are equal to 1 whole of that. And I would get 5x plus 8, that's 2, 5/2 x's plus 4, is going to be equal to 6x plus 4. I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides, and I'm going to subtract 5x from both sides. How I got the what?
The 5.
2 times 5 is? Divided by 2 is 5. Okay? Sorry. So we had 5x plus 8, 6x plus 4. So we subtracted the 5x on both sides. We subtracted 4. 4 equals x, because 6x minus 5x is 1x. Whoa. Oh, there it is.